Now, how do you want me to start this? I'm Dolores, or
Um,
I'm Mom, or I'm,
Yeah, or I can just ask you your name, and you can
because I know the
respond
first
to-
thing is,
You just say whatever you want to, Mom. And so we got both cameras, so we're going now.
they both run at the same time?
Yeah, and then I'll edit them, and I'll probably just switch from one to the other to
Oh.
make it more interesting. So today I'm having a little visit with my mom. She's 90 years old and has seen a lot in this world. And so we're going to make a little documentary today for everybody, and I hope we have some fun with this. And I hope everybody enjoys watching it. So I've got some questions here because I'm getting old enough, I'm a little forgetful too, so we wrote them down. And we'll see how we can do. And if you want to deviate or something, just go ahead, and when you're done answering, just tell me or wave or something. I don't care. Whatever you feel like doing. It doesn't matter. This isn't too serious. I don't think we'll make 60 minutes on this
No,
one.
I thought maybe we was going to go to Dr. Phil or something.
Or Oprah, maybe.
Yeah, Oprah might be good, yeah.
Okay, so the first one is your name and age.
Well, I'm Dolores Glaser. I was born in 1927. I will be 91 years old next month. I've lived a good long life, and I've had a good life. So, is that enough for that?
I think so. Whatever you want to say.
You want me to say that I was who I was born and how I ended up?
Well, the next question is, tell us something about your childhood.
Yeah, well, my childhood, I don't remember a lot about my childhood because I was adopted, and my adopted mother was killed in a car wreck at my age 4. And so there's things about my childhood that I just don't even want to remember, so I guess I've just kind of put it to the back of my mind. So,
Do you remember playing games with your sisters when you were little?
no, we played jacks, and if we had like roller skates or something, we had to share. It's my turn now, so Doris would have to take them off, or Dorothy, and then it was maybe one of us other girls. We never each had one of anything. We had to share. And so as far as games, I don't remember games, no.
Okay. When you were a teenager, do you remember your favorite song? Or did you listen to music much?
I didn't really listen to music other than what might come on the radio. As a kid, a younger kid, I remember liking that song, I Want to Be a Cowboy Sweetheart. And then we were taught our little Bible, my adopted mother, Mother Marcia, we did Jesus Loves Me. And that's about all I really remember. I don't remember back a lot, you know.
Yeah. So, during World War II, how old were you during World War II?
World War II, I was about 14.
About 14?
Yeah, because I remember thinking, oh boy, Daddy's going to have to go to war. He's 40 years old, and we're in war now. And I remember thinking, I might have been 15, you know. Yeah, I can remember that.
Yeah. Do you remember when it was over?
Oh yeah, I remember. By then I was living in Nebraska because Daddy had shipped me and Doris off to Aunt Minnie's. Because Mother said it's either the girls or me, and so Daddy shipped us off, and I was living in Sydney. I had been living with Aunt Minnie. And so, yeah, I remember when it was over, you know, V-Day.
Did you celebrate?
Well, I don't remember that I did. I was too young to get in any places to really celebrate.
Yeah. So, tell us about how you met Dad.
Dad really didn't like me to tell this story, but I've told it. We had gone to Loveland to Doris and I. And we had gone into a little place called Scales. And there's a little 3-2 beer joint where you get sandwiches or Cokes or 3-2 beer. And we were sitting there having our little refreshments, and in came Dad and a friend, because they had just gotten off work, and they came in to get a beer. And we were sitting there, and Dad came over to the booth, and well, this other kid, and I can't remember his name, came over and came over to talk to us, and he started flirting with Doris. And I says, well, this isn't going to work because she's married. So I just kind of scooted over in my chair, and I says, but sit down. And that's how I met your dad.
That's pretty good. Okay. Okay. What was the funniest thing your kids did?
No,
5 kids, that's probably a lot.
and I got 5 kids, and if I stop and think about funny things, with kids, there's never a dull moment, even when they become in their 60s and 70s. So as far as funny, I just don't, can't think of too much other than when Eddie had threatened to flush Ronnie down the toilet if he wasn't a good boy. And I guess I just at this minute can't think of anything.
Okay. What do you think was the most beautiful place you visited?
Well, just camping and stuff was beautiful to me and Dad. Now, I did think that going to Mount Rushmore was awful pretty. But actually, we've gone on some fishing trips where the scenery was just out of this world. So I don't think you have to go hundreds of miles to find something beautiful in Wyoming. So.
Okay. What's your favorite flower?
I like carnations. I like carnations. I just like flowers. I don't have a lot in my yard right now, but there's not really any that I dislike. I don't really like a sunflower, and a lot of people think they're beautiful, but that's about it. I like a rose, but they don't last very long.
Okay, so carnation it is.
Oh yeah, lilacs, you know. Yeah.
What's your favorite bird?
I like little hummingbirds. I like to watch them work so hard, you know, and then I like the robin that comes to my patio every year to have babies. Yeah, I like that.
And your favorite animal?
Dogs.
Dogs, of course, yeah. Yeah, we always have dogs around here, don't we?
Oh yeah, lots of times more dogs than people.
Yeah. Okay, number 9. Any advice for family members? This question could be life advice or any advice, anything that...
Well, I don't believe in holding grudges. That's one of my pet peeves, is when my kids get upset with each other and they can't let it go and they get disgusted with each other and hang on. No, holding a grudge, I don't believe in. Get over it. Shake hands and say, we're siblings, we're going to get along.
Anything else?
Well, isn't that enough?
Oh, okay. Well, maybe so.
Well, as far as important things in life is getting an education and stuff, because I didn't get an education. And that's always been one thing I wanted my kids to, you know, get through school and then go further if they wanted to. So, but that's probably it.
Okay. Well, number 10, I'm not sure who came up with this one, but we all have one day that was, for whatever reason, just perfect, forever memorable. It might not have been a life event, but just a great day.
Oh, I can answer that. I had 5, and that's every day I had a baby. That was the biggest thing in my life. Each baby I had was the biggest thing in the whole world. I loved my kids.
Good thing none of us would survive if you didn't.
No, and I really think that I probably had the most beautiful babies of anybody in the whole hospital. I just, no, that was, yeah, that was good.
Okay. There we go. So, who was the person who influenced your life the most?
Probably Dad. Yeah, my life began when I met and married Dad. Because I didn't have the best childhood, you know, but Dad, yeah, I would say Dad.
How long were you married?
56 years.
Do you have a lost love?
No, I don't have a lost love.
I don't know who came up with that.
Anybody I ever went with before I met Dad was just to go dancing. I was never ever had any feelings for anybody else.
Okay, the next one is, which new technology have you found the most helpful and which one most annoying? You know, things like phones and TVs.
Well, I think when they invented the, crap, I can't even think of it, the thing over the stove.
Oh, microwave.
Microwaves. I think they was, neat. You can warm up your food and, you know. But the real modern technology, come on, I don't know anything about all this newfangled stuff.
Well, microwaves are okay.
Oh yeah, microwave's okay.
Okay.
And of course I can remember baking on an old coal stove and stuff, so when I had finally got a stove that I didn't have to put wood and stuff in it, even that was a big invention to me, is to be able to turn on the gas and put in a cake.
Okay, is there anything you've always wanted to say but never have?
You know, I can't think of what that would be.
Okay.
I'm pretty outspoken.
Okay, I have to agree with that. Is there anything you regret not having asked your parents?
As far as parents, you got to realize that I had a birth mother, I had an adopted mother, and I had a stepmother. And I always regretted not pursuing questions with my birth mother. That I don't, you know, she just kind of didn't want to get involved. But later in my life, because of my kids, I wish I'd have insisted on some questions that I wanted to. But as it happened, as you'll see further on down in this, that we did come to some kind of a conclusion about my birth, mother and father.
Okay. This may be a little bit of a repeat of what we talked about earlier, but the next question is, what was the happiest moment of your life?
Well, I have to go back again. My happiest moment was the birth of my children. in marriage to my husband. That's not all I can say, you know.
Okay.
I've been very well blessed, but I would say them are my happiest.
What are you most proud of?
My kids. But like I say, I love my kids dearly, but there's some days I don't like them.
Well, that's honest, I guess. I can see how that could happen. Except for me, of course.
Oh yeah.
Okay. What are the most important lessons you learned in life?
Well, I guess important lessons is get along with everybody, and well, I don't know. Do your best, I guess. I don't know. I've tried to do the best with what I've had to do with, so I don't know.
Do you recall what is your earliest memory?
My earliest memory, I can remember back, my mother was killed in an automobile, my adoptive mother, Mother Marcia, when I was 4 years old. And I can remember back then, I cannot remember her, but I can remember somebody lifting me up to see her in her casket. And I think that's probably about my earliest memory, you know.
Okay.
So that would be about 4 years old.
Did you receive an allowance when you were a child?
No, we didn't have any money. We were lucky to eat beans, let alone give the kids an allowance. You just get her done, and if you don't do it right the first time, you do it over.
Do you remember who your friends were when you were growing up? Do you remember some of them?
No, neighbor kids, usually. You know, the Rogerses, the Lynches, and, there was some kinsfathers that lived next to us. And as far as in school, I don't really remember. No, I don't remember.
Okay. So what was your favorite thing to do for fun?
I don't remember fun times till I got older.
Okay. What was school like for you when you were a child? And what were your favorite and least favorite subjects?
Well, school to us was walk to school, walk back home, get things done around the house that had to be done. And as far as favorite subjects, I think I liked reading, and I liked math, even though I wasn't good in it.
Did you participate in any activities or sports?
No. Mm-mm.
Do you remember any fads, popular hairstyles, clothing? What was the rage back then?
Well, about the time I left home, which was 16, you wore jeans that was rolled up to your knees, and your hairstyle was whatever you could come up with. As far as really fads, women didn't wear slacks back then, you just wore dresses. And if you found a dress that you really liked, you was lucky to have 2 dresses, let alone a closet full. So I managed.
What world events had the most impact on you?
Oh, I think wars. Everybody going off to war. And I know during World War II, thinking Daddy was going to have to go, and I had cousins that I knew had to go, and I didn't know Edwin at that time, but he had to go. And but I think world situations, and I think the Twin Towers has been something. Of course, it's just been recently, you see it again on TV, but things that happen in the world that you got no control over,
Yeah.
So,
Okay, well, here's kind of a tough one. How would you like to be remembered?
I want to be remembered by my family as just being a good mother.
Okay, I don't know who came up with this question. I'm not sure what it means.
I don't know either about the beans. I don't know, unless it's,
Ask about pinto beans, it says. I wonder if that has anything to do with pulling your finger.
it probably has something to do with me and passing gas. I don't know.
Oh, okay, so maybe we'll just skip over that one. Okay, ask about the backyard band.
Well, the backyard band happened years ago. Can't remember. We had a bunch of junk in the backyard, and the kids decided they were all little. These are grandkids. Decided they was going to perform a band in the backyard for everybody, Nana and Gramps. And so they come up with all kinds of yard stuff. Old mailboxes, old tree limbs, old whatever they come with. And of course Jessie, being the Jessie she was going to do the singing. And everybody had some kind of a something they were playing. Pretend they had a horn or a guitar or drums or something. And anyhow, they all come up with a band. And so Jessie was done with her song and everything. And so the thing was over. And here's little Lindsay back there sitting on a big old pile of junk of some sort with two big tree limbs in her hands, pounding on an old mailbox, and she was still playing that drum. I think we've got a film of that somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're almost done. Number 31. What has been the biggest challenge in your life so far?
I don't know what you mean by that.
What's been maybe the most difficult thing to get through?
Struggled with.
The struggle?
Yeah, well, Dad and I both be raising our kids and trying to do the best for them with what we had to do with. That's been a challenge. I mean, it's not recently, but as raising our kids and buying a house and trying to keep a roof over the head and food on the table, that's a challenge in itself when times are tough. So I would say probably that.
Do you have some questions? Here, we still got time. We can put them on there.
I think it starts there.
Okay.
And if you don't think they're good, just don't.
Okay, we've got a couple more questions
Okay.
from Sharon, who says, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I kind of really thought I wanted to be a beauty operator. I always liked to mess with people's hair. And that probably was my big thing. I thought I'd like to be a beautician.
Okay, what do you remember about Grandma Marcia? Is that right?
Well, like I said back there, I don't remember because I was so young when she was killed, but I do know from knowing the bosses that she was a wonderful person. She adopted me when they adopted me when they had a 2-month-old baby and a 14-month-old baby. So she had 3 little babies right off the bat there. So she had to be a wonderful person.
Okay. What do you remember about Mamie and Minnie?
Well, Aunt Mamie, who was my birth mother, I don't remember a lot about her because she didn't want anything to do with me, about which maybe was guilt or I don't know. And Aunt Minnie, I loved Aunt Minnie. they were twins, and Aunt Minnie and I got along real good, and Aunt Minnie was kind of like me. If you think it, you might as well say it.
Okay. What was the most important thing you wanted your kids to carry on?
Just be successful, contribute to society, and I didn't expect them to be Olympic anything. I just wanted them to be just good citizens and get along.
How did you feel about your 90th birthday party?
It was overwhelming. I had so many people, old friends and family, and it was very nice.
Okay, we got a couple more, and I think we're done.
Okay.
Did you travel much?
No traveling.
Just fishing, right?
A lot of fishing with Dad. I always told him when he was first married, if you'll go dancing with me, I'll go fishing with you. And guess what we did the most of?
It wasn't dancing, was
No,
it?
it wasn't dancing, it was fishing. But I enjoyed it.
That reminds me. I remember growing up, and once in a while you and Dad would put a album on the old stereo, dance in the living room. What was your favorite dance step, you and Dad?
Two-step. I loved it when Dad would grab me and we'd dance in the kitchen or the front room. Or I still can hear a song that reminds me of our days, And I like that.
I remember watching you guys. It was wonderful. Okay. So where were you living before you moved to Cheyenne?
We lived in Milliken. We rented a little house in Milliken up the street from Aunt Edna. Paid $18 a month rent in that little house. It was a little one-bedroom house, a three-room house. But we had an outdoor toilet, but we was as happy as if we had good sense. We really liked it. So, who's coming now?
Anything else you want to say?
I just wanted to say that in the end, I was very happy to find my paternal side of my birth family. It should have been on there somewhere.
Did we skip one?
Anyhow, when I was 89 years old, I found out about my paternal side of my family, and found out that I had 2 living sisters that we talk to and see occasionally, and that has been very important in my life. So I found out that the paternal side of my family, they had 9 kids. The maternal side of my family had 6 kids. And my adopted side of my family, there were 6 in my family, so I had a total of 20 siblings.
20 of them?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
If they were all living. So, but it was nice to find that I finally put the missing piece of pie in my deal when I found my paternal side. And they're nice people, very nice people. Their name is Lang. The name is Lang. So.
Well, I think we got through all the questions, and I'll see how these videos turn out. We may we may have a second session at some point. We'll see.
I just want my kids to know that I love them all dearly. Grandkids, great-grandkids, I've been very well blessed. Very well blessed.
Well, so have we. So have we. You can't Yeah, nobody has perfect parents, but I can say that my parents had perfect love. So, okay, well, I guess I'll turn the cameras off then.
Is it my turn?
This is better than writing a book.
Oh,
It's
sure.
easy, just,
Easier than
You
writing.
probably got me on video eating a meatball right out of the pan.
well, maybe so.
How you feeling?